Hi, I wish everyone a wonderful day. My name is Lena and I'm a photographer. And here I'm trying to inspire you with my projects, and at the same time I'm improving my English speaking to you guys. While you're watching the video about my photoshoot and how I made some stuff for it, I'll tell you a story that happened recently. It will be about an amazing day of my life and why I called a police. If you think that I pick at my nose, take a cookie, I'll really do it, because otherwise we'll get to the end of the story on Friday next week. And let's start right now, because this story will be very long. This story will be so long, it will even have an epigraph. You know, I learned English myself, watching YouTube. But I made some attempts to learn it with teachers. And one of my teachers was a sweet guy from India. Once he told me a story how he was kidnapped in Mumbai. It was his first day at the university and he and his friend were kidnapped. They were held captive one day and he didn't eat anything because he is a vegetarian and kidnappers had only meat food. By the way, I completely understand him because I never drank any alcohol in my life. And if the same situation would happen to me and there was only beer or champagne, I would try to refuse drinking it as long as it's possible. But it seems to me that it's a fat chance that I'll ever go to Mumbai, meet their kidnappers, and they will have only champagne for their victims. Anyway, my teacher's parents refused to pay ransom, and kidnappers understood that they'd better look for another victim. So, the next day, my teacher and his friend were released. I was shocked by this story. But even more, I was shocked by how it was told. In a very casual way, like my teacher told me how he spent the weekend with his friend on the seaside. Tell me, is it really a casual thing in Mumbai? I don't know. Like, good morning, student, why did you skip your classes on Monday? Sorry, sir, I was kidnapped. Okay, but never do that again, and ask your classmates for Monday conspects. So, when I was able to breathe again, I said, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry, that's horrible." My teacher was confused by my reaction and said, no, that was a good day. He was silent for a moment and then he added, "It was raining." He meant that many bad circumstances didn't happen to him when he was kidnapped. He was young, his friend was with him, and it was raining. So I want to tell you about my good day. It was a few weeks ago. I'm a photographer, but also I have a clothing rental. Sometimes I buy clothes for my clothing rental, but more often I make clothes myself. I like to sew historical dresses and fairy tale costumes. One day my employee who works there told me that our client wanted to rent a silver fringe jacket after 4 days. But the problem was that we didn't have this kind of jacket. I already made red and yellow jackets and my employee asked the client if she would be happy with them. But our client explained that she's a videographer and she's going to record a music video for her client in silver decorations. And she wanted exactly what she asked for, the silver jacket. And my employee asked if I could make this jacket in 4 days. Actually, I didn't want to do it because I didn't have much time to sew. I had many photo shoots and I was very tired, and honestly I wanted to spend every 3 minutes staring at the wall in silence. But I agreed. I wanted to help our client because there are not so many options for her to find this kind of jacket in 4 days in my city. So eventually I did it. I made the jacket in 4 days. I bought the materials, I made a pattern, I sewed the jacket. Also, in these days, I got my bunny hat, and here it is. And it's very important for my story, just trust me. These hats are so popular in my city, I even made up a conspiracy theory about a community of furry lovers who secretly want to dress everyone around them as furries. And I never wanted to become a victim of the plot. And I didn't want to buy one of these hats. But this yellow one broke my heart. I saw it on the web store and I thought that I must have it. I know I'm 39, but I will wear it, this hat, period. Anyway, I live in a very big city, and here no one cares what do you wear, so you can meet people of different ages who wear very fancy things, and that's amazing. Kind of a calling card of my city are very old ladies with full makeup and hats with a veil. One day I will become one of these ladies, but at that moment I wanted this hat. And let's get back to my jacket. In the fourth day, I grabbed it and took the train to my clothing rental. As I said, my city is very big and it's very comfortable to use the train here. So I use it very often to get from home to my clothing rental. When I jumped on the train, my best friend Tanya texted me that she was going to have an interview. I mean, not a job interview, but an interview with a journalist. Tanya is a lingerie model, so in her message Tanya asked me if she's supposed to be in her lingerie on the interview or she has to wear something more official. Of course that was a joke and we laughed so hard imagining how she's gonna make an impression of a serious, smart and sophisticated lady wearing only her underwear. I think that I stopped laughing only when I got off the train at the railway station and bought a coffee at the coffee shop nearby. And then I understood that I don't have a jacket with me. I don't have this package. I understood that I left it on the train and I ran to the station. A week before that day, I have found a kid's purse in the train, and I took it to the luggage storage at the station, so I knew where to go. By the way, that story had a happy ending because that evening the mother of that kid called me to thank me and even transferred me money. I told her that she doesn't need to do it, but she had my phone number, so she did it anyway. Of course, I was ready to transfer money to the person who has found my jacket, but unfortunately nobody has found it. Railway station employees looked for it in the train, but it wasn't anywhere. So they asked me to wait until the evening. I was devastated. I spent time, energy and money to make the jacket. I was so tired, and this was all for nothing, and I blame my health. 3 years ago, after I've gotten coronavirus for the first time, I began to have some problems with my memory and attention. And it usually happens when I'm very tired. It's not like when I'm tired, I'm not attentive. It feels like my brain becomes foggy and its state lasts for days, sometimes for weeks. And I felt this feeling at that moment. Let me read you about it and maybe you have something like this and you can tell me something about it. Brain fog is characterized by confusion, forgetfulness, and a lack of focus and mental clarity. That's me, and that's horrible. And I was so sad that it began happening to me again because I didn't have it for months. And what I also know about this state of health is that the one and only thing that I can do when I have it is never be angry about myself. Because if I'll be angry and sad, I'll never fix things that I have ruined. And at that moment, I really needed to fix them. Because the most horrible fact was that I failed our client. She relied on us. Her client relied on us. Now only 1 day is left before their fulfillment, so they don't have any options to get another jacket. And I just lost the jacket on the train. I told my employer everything and she asked me to tell our client the story myself because she thought that our client wouldn't believe her. That was fair enough, so I texted our client and explained everything to her. Do you know the situations when people fail you, spend your time, energy and money, and then they begin to explain you why they did it, spending more of your time and energy? I hate it. I mean, do you think in these situations, oh my God, I don't care how you failed me. I don't want to know why you were late or why you forgot your promises. Don't tell me stories about difficulties in your life. My life is difficult too, and you made it even more difficult just now. Leave me alone so I can fix everything and handle the situation myself. But this time I felt that I have to explain what's happened, and I told our client everything except my coronavirus problems. I didn't want her to think that I blamed my illness. Our client wasn't angry and she was very professional. She said that she needs to think about the situation and maybe she'll take another jacket in my clothing rental, maybe a yellow one. Of course, that wasn't the best solution. I had to figure out what to do. But at first I needed to calm down, meditate and reflect, so I called my friend Tanya, the one with the lingerie interview, and I cried on her shoulder. We are the kind of friends who are together in sorrow and joy, and at that moment it was definitely sorrow. I told her that I don't know how I can get back my jacket or buy somewhere another silver jacket. And Tanya said, "Oh, that's not a problem, let's make it together today." I replied, "Really? But I have 2 photo shoots today and I don't have much time." "That's okay, I'll buy all the materials and we'll sew it today in the evening." I was so happy. I immediately told our client that she'll get her jacket tomorrow morning, and she was happy too. I still was devastated by what I did and by my health. But every moment of that day made me happier. I told my boyfriend about this situation and he came to support me and help me with my photo shoots. I was happy that nobody blamed me. My employee, our client, Tanya, my boyfriend, nobody said, "Oh my God, Lena, what have you done?" Everyone supported me. I was happy because that day I had 2 amazing photo shoots with adorable people. The first one I am not allowed to show, so here are some shots from the second one. I even used my boyfriend to make some shots. You can see his hands there. I wanted to express the idea of inner support that a person has. Maybe it's hands of our significant other or the inner strength that we have. I hope that you like these photos. In the evening, my friend Tanya came to me and we made the jacket again. This time it was much faster than when I did it myself. Also, Tanya tried to cheer me up with stories about guys who dated her or tried to date her when she was a teenager. She was like, "And there was that sweet guy, he was so in love with me, he even came to see me from another town every weekend. He gave me very expensive presents, he bought me a car, we even wanted to marry." I wonder, what was his name? "Oh, Alexander. Anyway, I gave him all his presents back when I left him." I was so happy and we laughed a lot and we made this jacket before midnight. And then I called to the luggage storage and they told me that nobody found my jacket and I called to the police. I don't know if I have to explain it, but maybe it's the same law all over the world. I don't know, because at the moment I lost jackets only in my country, which is Russia. In my country, if you leave your things, for example, in the street, in the park, on the train, nobody can take them. I mean, it's not only immoral, but it's against the law. It's a criminal offense, and persons who take something that doesn't belong to them are thieves. Also, it's very important that I have lost my jacket in the train, because it means that the transport police must be involved. In my country, transport police is the different department of the police than a regular police. They work more meticulously because transport is the strategic object. So when I called to police, they listened to me very attentive and invited me to come to the police the next day. I didn't want any problems to the person who took my jacket. I believed that they didn't understand that it is such an important thing for me. The package with the jacket even didn't look like a package with clothes. So maybe people who took it didn't know what they actually took. I just wanted to ask the police to look at CCTV cameras. When I began learning English and I met the word CCTV camera for the first time, I thought that I'll never need this word and I don't have to remember it. Who knew that in my second video in English language I'll talk about CCTV cameras? So I just wanted to ask the police to look at the CCTV cameras and find the station where this person got into the train. Nowadays everybody pays by card and 99% that this person used this card to buy a ticket at the station. So if I knew the name from the card and the station, I could easily find this person in social media. I'll offer them some money and get my jacket back. That was my plan. So I got ready to convince the police not to investigate it, but just to take a look at the cameras. And I decided to be as sweet person as I can to do it. At first, I put on something I call the costume of a woman. It means that I put on a nice dress, heels and a full makeup. You know, like a woman. Usually I wear a costume of someone who's in a hurry or who is ready to crawl on the floor while taking photos. And I know that's silly, but that got the job done. 8 police officers gathered in the room in the police station to look at me and laugh at my jokes. They were really happy to talk to me. I think that's because I didn't look like people police officers usually deal with. I wasn't drunk, I didn't have bruises on my face, I didn't complain, I just told them how I lost my jacket and I joked about it. But our conversation ended with my laugh. One of police officers asked, "You know, when we'll watch video from the train, at first we need to find you in the train. It will be easier to find you if you'll try to remember if there was anybody noticeable near you in the train." I looked down shyly and said, "I think that the most noticeable person in the train was me, because I had a bunny hat." That was hilarious. Police officers told me that they would text me. And after an hour, I got a message. They looked at CCTV cameras and they found the person who took my package from the train. And they... Wait, котик! Here's my cat. So, as I said, they looked at CCTV cameras and they found the person who took my package from the train. And they sent this video to me. That was a woman. And she had a bunny hat. That was me. Oh my god, I understood that I lost my jacket in the coffee shop. And I don't know how I did it. A police officer asked me which coffee shop it was. I told him, and he was so sweet, he even went there and took my jacket. I was so happy. The next day I came to the police station and employees there were waiting for me. Women there asked me to put on this jacket and turn around to show it to them. They were adorable, really. They really supported me in this uncomfortable situation. So those were good days and a happy ending. I failed our client, I know. It was very uncomfortable to go to police. I was devastated by my health. I was so sorry to lose the jacket and my time. I was very tired, but people around me supported me and it made me happy. Don't get me wrong, I don't compare kidnapping and the loss of some fancy clothes. And a part of me still thinks that my Indian teacher told me that story just to flex on me. But anyway, I like this philosophy. I like the idea. I mean, it's great when you find yourself in very bad circumstances, but if you explore the situation more attentively, you'll see that actually it was a very happy day. So, thank you for watching. You can find my photos from this video in my Instagram. I'm not trying to promote it here or something, because this social media is prohibited in my country and I post there rarely. Thank you and see you in the next video. Bye.